Aurora Avenue say they face increased danger because the Justice Department shut down Backpage.com. Good evening again. I'm Monique Minglavin.
I'm Steve Rabel. Cairo 7's Dave Wagner's here now with the stories of the women who say their only alternative is to walk the streets in search of customers. Some tough stories here, Dave.
Very tough stories. Drive Highway 99. You'll see an increasing number of young women peddling their bodies to passing motorists. Over the past 3 months, I've talked with more than a dozen prostitutes who work Aurora. It's a tough life. And they tell me when Backpage.com shut down, it got even tougher.
My whole life, I'm a survivor.
It is the game face of a woman who knows the game on Aurora Avenue.
How rough is it? It's definitely, the struggle is real. The struggle is real.
A steady stream of young women trolling for a trick on a strip called The Blade.
We call it a trick for a reason. Women in the sex trade are selling buyers a fantasy.
A highway where moonlight and headlights reveal a sobering reality.
You're constantly being objectified, commodified, bought, sold.
A daily life and death struggle that involves dollars, dope, and denial.
It's the easiest way to get money.
It has been a long, dangerous stroll for Lisa Brady. She started walking this strip when serial killer Gary Ridgway was picking up prostitutes in the 90s. How long have you been working Aurora?
20 years.
You've been working this stretch for 20 years?
There's guys I've been dating for 20 years.
Customers?
Yeah, customers. Like, I still see the same guys. There's a multiple, I probably see one a day that I've dated for at least 15 years.
Up until April, Lisa and other prostitutes relied on Backpage.com to advertise. When the Justice Department forced the website to shut down in April, Seattle sex workers flooded Aurora Avenue, looking for customers in what's become a buyer's market.
The prices have gone down, like tremendously. Like, it's crazy. Like, they'll offer me like $10 to have sex.
Michaela Noble is 20 years old.
Well, I've been on the street since I was 15 years old.
An addiction to meth and heroin keeps her on the street.
Girls that are only out here to get their fix, every money they get, they'll spend their money on drugs.
So it kind of turns into this circle of like doing a trick to buy drugs, to do a trick to buy drugs, to do, and it just kind of keeps going and going and going.
Get them from the needle exchange.
Clean needles are buried deep in Lisa Brady's purse. There's been a growing number of HIV cases in North Seattle.
There were 12 people that were just found out that they had HIV in like the last 3 months. This is Truvada.
Lisa isn't taking chances.
You take a pill a day and it makes it so that you can't get HIV.
Are most of the women out here on Truvada?
Yeah, they've been giving it to a lot of us.
Protection isn't guaranteed by a bottle of pills. Much of the danger arrives in the trucks and cars that carry the Johns.
He raped, I think, 8 of us.
Lisa helped catch serial rapist Brandon Reed, who was just sentenced to 23 years in prison.
He picked me up on Aurora, and we parked, and then he pulled a knife out on me and handcuffed me to the steering wheel.
Women who experience prostitution have a rate of PTSD twice that of returning war veterans.
Elisa Bernard has memorialized her trauma with a tattoo.
This was kind of my little gift to myself for getting out of the life and getting help.
She's one of the directors of the Organization for Prostitution Survivors, Seattle's only survivor-led and run agency.
Selling your body over and over and over again, commodifying yourself down and objectifying yourself down into that little object that can be bought, sold, and traded. It really does a number on your psyche. And I've been out of the life 13 years. I still have nightmares.
As night turns to day on Aurora Avenue, the traffic increases, and so does the number of women walking the street.
How are you? What's going on, babe?
There's a lot more girls in there. I mean, way more girls than there used to be.
For 29-year-old Marissa Kelly, it's the first time she's walked the streets in 2.5 years.
It's not easy. Every time I see somebody, it takes a little bit of my soul. You know what I'm saying? It does. This is the best kind.
Marissa Kelly carries condoms.
Trojan bear skins to protect myself from everything that I don't want for forever.
She also carries weapons.
I usually always have a knife on me.
But Marissa and others maintain much of their personal protection ended.
It's a lot more dangerous. It's way more dangerous.
When Backpage shut down.
It's because you don't know who's going to pick you up. Every time I get in a car, I risk my life, so.
Whereas before you had their phone number?
Exactly. I could screen them, and I knew, pretty much wherever, where they were, and it was a lot more honest.
Maya has been on the streets for 10 years.
Obviously, I'm on heroin.
She's never seen it like this.
When they thought eliminating Backpage was making the streets safer, actually they did not make the streets safer.
Absolutely not.
And we heard that over
There's more pimps and there's more guys out here.
and over again.
It's just like a way different of a crowd that's been like, that I see come through here compared to Backpage. A lot of dangerous, strange men.
It made the sex trade, prostitution, very, very anonymous.
Seattle attorney Mike Faust sued Backpage for allowing young girls to be sold for sex in the escort section of the website.
Two of the girls were in 7th grade when they began to be trafficked.
On Backpage?
On Backpage. These girls that we represented, it was very, very dangerous. They were raped multiple times a day, every day. Some of them were beaten, they were threatened, forced to use drugs and alcohol.
Faust's law firm is the only one nationwide to win a case against Backpage. Faust is now suing on behalf of a prostitute who was murdered because she advertised on Backpage.
I think you stamp out evil where you can stamp out evil. And is prostitution going away? No. Is child abuse going away? No.
We can actually see these women now. We can actually outreach them. Whereas before that, they could have lived and died in apartment brothels, and we would have never known about it because Backpage was very good at hiding them.
As the sun sets on Aurora,
All these people, they're all liars and thieves.
Adrienne DeMay watches the action unfold with a beer and a bag of candy to keep her company on a 48-degree night.
They're all predators.
In the words of one woman, it's a place where dreams come to die.
Things can get way dangerous around here. You don't know. You just don't know if somebody's going to pull a knife or a gun or just flip a script on you. You just don't know, man.
While dozens of young women walk Aurora night and day, some of them have found new websites to attract customers. The co-director of the Organization for Prostitution Survivors tells me that soliciting men on Backpage was just as dangerous as walking Aurora Avenue. In her words, it's the same buyers, whether it's on the streets or online. Steve?
Dave, almost soul-crushing to know that happens here in our community to those young women.